to the stream. Yeah. So we took a light short from the fade of, or the acceptance of these sellers at 993. We cashed out down here. So we're up like 700 thus far. So we're just chilling. Let's go play a game to warm up, shall we? First reset the audio. Always glitches out. Parent. Other than shitification by L for some reason. And it's because I use these like effects and I don't want to remove them because they were paid. So they don't want to allow me to use them, I guess. Which is weird. You know, like if I turn them on, this is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like. Hello? 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 Welcome. 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 This is a delay. 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 Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? 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 Can we make the level? Test. Hello? What? Echo. Wow. Yeah. So that's one. And then what else? So that was one, and this one.
Hello? Test 1, 2, 3. This is the low of the low. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah. Dum, dum, dum. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. This one makes the lows very low, if you catch my drift. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Damn. That's fresh. Wow. Oh yeah. Spicy. Fight. Finish him. Fatality. Finish him. Fatality.
And I don't want to take them off. Thank you very much, Elgato, for shitifying them and making them
audio whenever I, instantiate and like 30 minutes later, it just doesn't work, Like, why? Why does it do that? It shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah! Wow! Anyway, that's hi. If you want to make the voice hi, you can. Wow. Yeah.
That one. And want to make it robotic. Dr. Robotnik. Moira, Mr. Roboto. I think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. I think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. Sine waves and the fuzz. Yeah, bit crusher. Yo, what's up, comma bounce? Yeah, I got that smoker's voice. I have an effect on. Wow. I'm just turning my effects on to test them. It's been a while. You know what I mean? Let's do an echo. I'm Batman. Fight, 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 fight. They? Where are they? I'm Batman. Where are the prophets? So glitches out the paid effects that I have on Wavelength that worked before. And then when I updated one time, like a year ago, it just caused my audio to glitch out after 30 minutes. Even though they're off. It's almost like delete them and use, which is like, you know, all products. We'll link you to our store where we have similar products, but third-party ones may or may not work. It's like, oh, it worked before though. Yeah, there was a time I really got anally into the weeds about trying to fix it, but I couldn't find the thing. And then they had this Elgato marketplace. And then I was like, oh, it was trying to get me to like sign up for their like, you know, effects. And I was like, I see. They're trying to push their store. Like, oh, it doesn't work well with third party. Well, we got approved ones. It's like they're like you know, everything trying to subscription service you. It's like, how about not make an update that causes that, you know? Yeah, like it was I'm up to date with the latest version, but it was like basically I have to like do this where I reset the OX every like 30. It like but if I leave it on, it like distorts or something. So I have to go into these effects, turn this off and on, and then it remedies. It like reinstantiates them or something. I'm not sure why. Might be, I mean, clip guard optimizes the analog audio path to prevent distortion in real time. Could be these things, these enhancements. Activate the gain reduction LED indicator for clip guard. I think the phantom power was always on. Huh. I never really changed any of this, so that could have been something here. Test. All right, I turned off the phantom power. Let's see if turning off phantom power does anything. It'll probably the thing is it doesn't sound glitched to me. It only sounds glitched on the YouTube audio. So whatever happens, it's going through the stream mix, and the stream mix gets messed up. Not sure. 48-volt phantom power. Well, we'll turn it off for now and see what happens. Next test will be, we'll try the clip guard to prevent distortion in real time. I don't know. I remember testing low impedance mode, but that didn't do anything. Either way. So, what's up? Yeah, technical difficulties are annoying. Defense. We got to prioritize defense on the underdogs. Okay, let's just go this way. Let's exit full screen and just keep this down here. Okay, thank you for stopping in if you're on the stream. We're just doing some order flow and gameage while we wait for the markets. We're kind of in a little range here. Wait a minute, we're gonna... Hmm. Yo, what's up? How you been? I haven't seen you around struggling with trading, sorry. What is it that's the struggle in terms of your personal uh story or whatever? Like you have like over trading or mm-hmm. Yeah. Right, right. So, yeah, yeah. I didn't see that. Where was that? That's weird. I know there's a lot of like people, like there's a lot of, what do you call it? Uh Not, I wouldn't say unsubstantiated, but a lot of people throw shade at them quickly. And the people that throw shade at them are not really like necessarily credible. Not to say that it's not justified, but like I see it and then I don't personally experience it. So I'm like, I don't really understand where that comes from necessarily. So, not to say it's not happening, it's just like I stay off of like Twitter and all that stuff, so I don't really know what's going on out there either, so I'm kind of ignorant. But yeah. There are YouTubers that do that, like, they got, like, banned from them or whatever, or blacklisted or whatever it was, and then so they just become the anti-Apex YouTuber or something. So if it's like that, like, knowing that person's story is also helpful. Like, there's a few YouTubers out there like that where they say nothing, they only say, like, bad news for Apex. They never say anything good about them, even when they do things that are good. So it's just like any news, like you'll have like certain people that hate on. So I'd be careful what the source is the best thing. I'd like to see who said that and what their email said and everything, if they got a copy of that. But yeah, it depends on. He was saying some people were like talking about live accounts in Apex or something. They don't, I think they send those to everyone. Like when they had their new products or whatever, that they sent that to, like somebody else posted about it unrelated. So they don't really send me anything different, to be honest. Do they have like a backstory where they showed their, what do you call it? Like what their history on that account was? Like I'd like to see a screenshot of that if they're claiming it was after one payout, like show that too, you know? Otherwise it's just them talking. Yeah. I mean, it's not even like I just would like to know more, you know what I mean? Like, if they said that, I'd like to see all the details. Like, it would be like with anything. Like, if I had some beef with somebody, I would like log all the chats and then just dump it, lay all the cards on the table, you know? Like, if you're gonna say some claim, then that's what I would expect, you know? Nothing more, nothing less. And then I could be the judge off the evidence presented, you know? Because words on the internet are about as believable as the Loch Ness monster. But I'd like to hope they don't. I mean, they stepped in. There was one time there was like with Apex, there was like, what was it? It was they were going through some issue with one of their programmers. Like they later admitted what the problem was, but they had like data issues, and it was like they had a falling out with one of their coders or something, and then there was like all sorts of like payout denials, and then they you know they they had trouble like like with their data, but then they didn't rescind the, what do you call it, they didn't reimburse the problem or go back on the data errors that if it ended up with deletions or failures or blown accounts or whatever. And so they took like a credibility hit, like a massive one, because they were being stingy in some regards. I don't remember. It was right before the 3.0 stuff. So there was like a time where they were where their reputation went into the gutter for a little bit. But then they recovered on the 3.0 stuff, and they made all these long videos, and I remember watching all of them like but it was just like they were just talking about what the reason why they were doing all those denials and everything, and they were trying to weed out the scammers and schemers was the way they framed it. But it was just like I don't really know what that was about, but right. Which is why like their initial like 20 linked accounts thing was interesting, because there previously was no cap. So that's why I was like, I said the other day, I don't know how I feel about that cap, because I think it's one directional in terms of who it benefits. Like they're happy to let you try indefinitely, but they don't pay indefinitely. You know, that's one of those things. But I mean, Top Step technically does the same thing. And then they do shoulder tap and call you up to live. They just frame it better. Like Top Step is just better at sculpting a narrative in a frame. Like they just have like a way of how they frame it. Like, we're giving you the opportunity to go up to live with our shoulder tap. You know, like they just have a better presence. And yeah, there's like a, but it's essentially the same, I would say. Like from what I gather, it seems like they just did the same model with that product. Yeah, and like what what their curve on and the P&L curve on that account was. Like if they're saying that, then show it, you know. That's all. Like don't talk about it, just show the data and be like, "See?" You know, like then I'll be like, "Hmm." But if I just have to go off of words typed, I don't really know what that's about, you know. I have to take it at face value automatically. Unfortunately, that's how I go anyway. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. That's why I was gonna say, like, trying to script a story puts you in like a biased mindset, and then it's like the mindset is what you want to try to avoid, because our thoughts kind of are pollutants in trading. Trading is this should be mechanical. It's like this thing that you see it and you do it and you don't hesitate or think, or like thoughts and if you're putting like I feel and I think and it should, it's like you're already setting yourself up to fail. As soon as you do that, like throw the thoughts out and just kind of like line it up. Like one of the videos I wish Oracle or somebody saved, they might have, I don't know, from his old YouTube, where he was really laying out surgically about evidence. And it was just like, you look for pieces of evidence, and it's like, the more evidence, the more certainty, but only evidence based, no thoughts. So like make a mantra, some sort of plaque on the wall where you're, you know, drill it into your head that it's only evidence-based trades, no discretion thinking involved, you know? And even using like words like it'll probably do this or it might do that. It's like any type of like presupposition. Like there's ways to skirt around thinking and presuppose. You're like, I suppose it'll do that, and it's like, no, none of that. Don't try to read the future. Just go with the flow of the moment and what it's presenting you as evidence now. Ah, I saw your picture of shooting the deer in the sphincter or whatever. How do they react when that happens? They just fall down? And you get more points for how fast they die or something? With yeah, that's cool. Can you shoot your friends like Dick Cheney? Oops. You're like, wait, the wolves actually come back? That's cool. Damn. That's. Do they actually do that in the real world? I guess no one lives to tell about it later. They're just like, what happened to Bill? Not sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, I heard he was hunting wolves. That was the last I heard of him. Huh. That's weird. We found his boot the other day. I saw that like Tyler Oliveira video react by Asmongold about the like HMB visa thing in Texas, like you were talking about. And it was like there was a guy with like 2 master's degrees in from in computer science, but he couldn't find a job because it goes to basically like you were saying, like Indians. And they were getting into the whole like structure of how they use these companies to like kind of bring them in and then they take a cut. It's basically like that whole other thing all over again. Yeah, they take the path of least resistance. So it's like, what is it? The word they used, it was, like malicious compliance or something. They create these systems to like reward the shortcut and the loophole. But there's like this area in Texas. I'm not from there, so I don't know. But they were saying it was like went from 3% to like 33% Indian in like 20 years. Yeah. That's what I said. Shitty walk. We got 9 minutes, gentlemen. It's very wild. It's like a wild bull. Or just micros, like 3 micros or something. Like, definitely don't want to be like inexperienced with minis, you know? Yeah, 100 ticks on 3 micros is like 100. Is $150. Yeah. Do. Okay. What's up? 4 minutes. Put up the barricades. That's why before you get the 20, it's like at least try to dip your toes with one and take one to the payout and then use the profits from the one to scale up. Like, don't use your own money, use their money to scale into stuff, you know? It's about building muscle memory. It's no different from like learning how to shoot in a shooting game, you know? You're not really killing people, but you're learning how to, aim. Right. And that's why it should be the same. Like, there should be a callous approach to, like, that's why I was saying earlier, it's like mechanical. It should be mechanical, where you're just like, this is where I hit the button and go. If there's any emotional tinge or physiological doubt, it causes you to hesitate and take late entries or rush. It should be like, releasing an arrow as you breathe out. You're just like, whoosh. It should just be this seamless thing. Yeah. Ten seconds. Bama Jamma. It's like lagging. What is up with this lag? Wait, what? Why am I lagging? No, just everything froze for a moment. That was weird. Just everything froze momentarily. Hello, it's like still doing it. We have like a little bit of non-lag, please. Like, what's going on? It starts right at the open. You got a little bit of divergence from ES and Q, like ES still holding. One more time. Yo, yo, yo. Pump up the jams, pump it up. Why is NQ so glitchy? Why am I so laggy today? I like it a lot. Forrest Gump. I think my wife is taking the bandwidth or something because the kbps just spikes down. She plays Splatoon on Switch too, I guess. Nothing significant that I can see anyway. He had a few 70 lot buyers at the 2650s and another 50 lot at 55. Nothing spectacular. Stoke the flames. So far, break even on the delta for the day. We just pulled back into 400 sellers. No big candidate, just the entire auction of 400. You're pretty good. Your Hulk thing was right in line with where my rockets were. Like we were both saying on a Friday, like you were like, this is the bottom. And I was like, I concur. I remember that. No, that was a different Friday, I think. No, I remember there was, it like went up from that point. It went down after, but you held it, but it was like a double bottom. Like I remember a double bottom. We're getting some 100 lot buyers as absorption fuel. I'm in a light short, so this is good for my short, but I'm not really. Ooh, wow. Holy crap. It hit my trailing, son of a bitch. It was 800 bucks, but it would have been more. Oh well. Damn it. It would have been such an awesome if it just. Oh well. Can't complain. It was 800 bucks. Yeah, it was too like my lag, you know, I had to protect my entry because of the lag, so why is it fucking so slow today? I'm gonna ask my wife afterwards, were you playing Splatoon? Because you need to chill out. Be like, I could have bought a new Switch with that. We retested these buyers Soak, soak, soak. We just hit the 1,000 tick imbalance here on NQ. And a 100 lot buyer at 43 just entered. NQ had more relative strength in that bounce than ES did, which looks more like a FU, but I'm just chilling and observing for more evidence rather than thinking. What's up, Bill Hardy? How you doing? Again, NQ pushing up while ES just hanging out. You got a 100 lot seller that just entered on NQ at 26.47. So you got the buyer at 26.43 and the seller at 26.47. Who's gonna win? Step right up, step right up. We got your sellers and your buyers, see? The fight of the century. Up or down, down or up. Put your dukes up. Who's going down and who's going up? Like where they enter? What do you... I'm trying to understand the question. Typically, yeah, typically at the bottom you'll see a lot of sellers, and at the top you'll see a lot of buyers. So, there are times in bullish conditions where the buyers step up at the bottom and defend. Like, that's when I say it might be defended here, and then it gets defended. That's kind of like in the conditions of the trend that we're in, kind of, but generally you see the opposite effect, where if it's uncertain or sideways, then you see, like, if you see a bunch of buyers in an uncertain area and it's sideways, they get absorbed, or a bunch of sellers and it going sideways, they get absorbed. It's like whatever side has the most loses in uncertain things. So I just wait in idiot box territory for like candidates to enter, you know. Yeah. ES is more congested, so that's for really actually looking, to be honest with you. One time I looked at the here in book me executed things with bubbles here. So I am kind of looking at it in its own right, just not in a toss. So I see when like spoofers enter, and I use it for spoofing and the divergences, like, the relative strength on NQ being better than ES, and like, interesting, and seeing those discrepancies between them. So I use the discrepancies, and then the resting orders are sometimes clearer on ES. Most of the time it's clearer on ES. So looking at the like level 2 DOM for NQ isn't as clear of an edge for me than it is on ES. So I normally have ES up for the resting orders. Or it's just not enough. It's not as like there's not enough to show someone's bias, you know what I mean? Like, it's easier manipulated because it's only like 10 lots and 30 lots, and it's like, I say only, but yeah, in relative terms to rich people, like, it's like I couldn't do one, but yeah, it's like the ES will give more hints about like resting orders more clearly, it seems. So that's why I have it up most of the time. Have a good one. We got 3 minutes till the hour. You said the news is what now? Ah, the housing market index. I'm bought the PlayStation 5, literally like went up like on PlayStation 5 Pro. I guess because of the RAM or whatever. So NQ tapping the highs while ES not tapping the highs. What is this discrepancy between the two here? Still kind of break even on the delta for the day. So it's kind of like on seek and destroy. Hmm. And we got the hourly close in 5 seconds. What does the hourly look like? Let's see. Slightly green open. Why am I so lagged today? It's annoying. Do do be do. Yeah. Yes, kind of gassing out or appearing to gas out, while NQ is like on a mission to the upside. You previously on the stab up to the 75s hit like a 120 lot and a 180 lot at 65 and 66. If it accelerates beneath those guys, you could be getting a potential fatigue point. But buyers have been historically in control for the last few days, so well, that's part of it is like if it, if it keeps you like out of chop or indecision points, then that's serving a purpose, I think. If it's creating analysis paralysis, you need to refine what that information you're looking at is, but yeah, until it makes a B or a P out of it. And then it goes, yeah. So you went up and there was like nothing in that to the 85s. It's like empty. So if it comes below these buyers, you could be getting buyer exhaustion. But again, that's the only thing I'm seeing right now. That is the only thing. The easy way. We could do this the hard way or the easy way. The easy way. Have a good one. Yeah, like ES is just like it's holding 7,015. You got the VWAP sub 7,000. It hasn't retested today at all. Ooh, that jitter is nice for my theory. Okay, coming below the buyers I talked about. Now, can they accelerate? There's no seller volume in this, so. No. The lag, man. Okay. Yeah. They start to diverge when there's like lots of like you know, volume traded at like key levels. So it's like generally that's a thing too, like a evidence lineup of the divergence between them. Drop the other shoe already. Jeez Louise. Yeah. It's just the last what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10,000 trades. It's just been devoid of delta and anything significant. Just like all in like 20s, and just like I can't, there's really nothing significant going on. The previous stab up into this rate region hit like that 469 in delta, and then purged 300 of it in establishing this region, and then those were those two buyer candidates I circled. But so it's attempting to establish this as a like a value point. Nice. Okay, have a good one. Now you're getting a bunch of sellers up here randomly at 95 and yeah, 200 lots. Random. Somebody styling out of a long there, I guess. You're back at like a January 27th volume point of control at 84-ish. So now ES is clearing its high. They're starting to be congruent. Boop boop be-doo. Coming back on this random sellers at 95. Is it trying to engineer more for a slingshot, or is it going to start rewarding them? How's everyone else doing out there in Discord? There was like a 400 buyer, 200 buyer on ES. This was a rare time I entered a short on those sellers with the seller rewarding. We're going to see if this pays off, but I'm willing to give back some of the profits. We'll see. Mainly because it was devoid of like delta in the entire push up. It's like, what was it doing, you know, other than spooking people out? We just pulled back on like 300 sell side delta. There's a buyer on the way up at 74 and 76 that is hesitating at. Yes, also pushing up here. And I'm out. Let's just see where it goes. What's it going to do? Re-engage or not re-engage? That is the question. It went and recovered a 1,000 tick imbalance on the drop down, but yes, now retesting the 24s. Basically, ES giving permission to go higher is what NQ is waiting for. Looks like it wants to. Where is it aiming at next? Let's see. Next volume point of control at 161. You had a bullish hourly, and yeah. Does this one finish bullish too? It's looking like it. When it hit a 500 buyer pool of in the 2-tick chart, 100 lot at 110. Likely stopped out shorts. And ripped to the upside. It's basically like long and chill day. Took another 552 in buy side there with that push up to the 130s. So we got acceptance of that range that we broke out into, and now repricing higher. At least for now. $2K in delta for the day thus far. So we're basically like retesting January levels right now, going up through like the 29th, the end of January. And the previous month high in January being up at 348. But we're basically coming up into the drop zone. Volume point of control on the 28th at 161 for all of that. So if it clears that, then you're going into the previous all-time highs. And technically the barricade of the straight is in effect and there's no issues as of yet. So everyone is taking the no bad news as good news. Boy. What's up, Trader Joe? You got a 400 lot on ES at 70,045 that just put it up there. Likely not looking to execute, but to just put something there as a barrier, but it's not anywhere immediately nearby, but just an interesting thing to notice. Let's go see what else is up here. We got the half-hour mark coming up. Hitting some buyers up here. 115 lot 137, 115 lot 138. 2K in Delta thus far for the day. Buyers stepping up for the session thus far. They got the permission from ES, so everyone's just riding it high to the upside until further notice. 94 just hit at 145. 72 at 145. Yeah, there's always another one just around the corner. 85, a hit at 150. Hitting a bunch of buyers here. Yeah, it was ES and NQ were like incongruent for a while, and then ES gave the permission to go higher, and NQ just kept ripping. We just hit a bunch of buyers I circled here, so 137 is where the last one got hit, or sorry, the first one, the last one up at 150. So we're pulling back into about 400 in sell side here, taking out the trailing stops of those who've longed. How deep is the pullback? Did they eliminate their target with those guys? Who knows? Came to a cumulative 3K in Delta, pulled back in 494, put us back in the 2K. Buyers strong until they're tired. It's like long every pullback at this point. Boop boop be doo. You told me about it. I didn't take a look, no. What's the news behind it? Like who's doing what to make that happen? Do you know? Huh. What? They make like hard drives and stuff, right? Hmm. So that jitter was like devoid of sellers. We're going to see how deep this retrace is. Pulled back into 326 in sell side with that last dip down, pulling up into 100. It's pretty violent reaction, but I don't necessarily know what that equates to, but that sounds like a lot. Nice. Yeah. They're probably gonna, there's no like, it's gonna just induce shorts and keep going, it looks like. Although ES is like not as like gung ho as NQ just was on that recovery. We got 15 minutes for the hourly to do its thing. to establish itself as another bullish candle, or chances are it wants to with that recovery. And we're back as if nothing ever happened. Mm-hmm. But it has less violence. NQ is easier to cause thrashes. So you need like either precise edge or wider stop with less leverage. All right, well, I'm going to call it here, guys. I got to get some Z's, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.